fabulous. And if you don't mind hitting star 6, if you have any background noise, that would be super helpful. So thank you so much. And we will go ahead and get started. So welcome, Independent Wellness Guides, to the very last, true training call of 2014, which is so amazing when you think about it's been a whole year. And it seems kind of unreal and a little bit crazy, but it's true. And it's just amazing, and I can't wait to talk with you and reflect a little bit on 2014 and all that it's done. But let's talk about, first, I definitely want to talk about the New Year's Eve call that we are going to have and start to promote that a little bit so that you can have some information to share with your team and members who aren't here on the call. So if you have a pen and paper, you can write down some of these amazing things that we're going to talk about, and I'll try to go a little slowly for those of you who are writing stuff down. But we will be having a New Year's Eve call. For next week, we have no calls at all because it's Christmas Eve, and there will be no opportunity call on the 24th, as well as no training call. So the very next time that you'll hear from us is going to be on New Year's Eve. And now we know people are going, out and about and doing things and whatever, but hopefully you can find not only the value, but the true, necessity to be on that call that evening for just, like I said, it's going to be just a call, that announcement. So 15, 20 minutes, we're going to try to make it super short. It's going to be at 8:30 so that you still have time. If you're going out, you have time to still do the fun things that you wanted to do. If you're like, myself and Nick, will probably be the cool fun things to do is like Netflix after the kids are in bed on New Year's or whatever we end up doing. But, that still gives you time to have the kiddos in bed as well. So 8:30 on New Year's Eve, 12:31, the same call-in numbers that we normally use. This special call will contain the following announcements, and I want to share those with you so you can have some idea and some heads up. So the first announcement is going to be about the starter kit content changes, and we're actually adding more to the kit. So the kits will start coming with larger discounts, which I think is awesome. The auto ship packages are being revamped, and we have some really awesome, fabulous options for you in terms of our auto ship program. We have some new recognition clubs that will be starting come January 1st, and those include our auto ship club as well as our BBL club. And each of those clubs come with a varying number of just fabulous, amazing things, and I'm super, super excited to share with you about that. We also have some awesome updates and information about our Virgin Island trip modifications that we are going to be making. We've talked to some of the people who have already, started to qualify for that trip, got the okay from them. So we're going to be kind of revamping and changing things slightly for that incentive trip, and I think making it better and more powerful. So a lot of you, starting January, will have a totally new opportunity for a great, incentive trip. And a lot of that is centered around the fact that my baby is due just a couple of weeks before that planned incentive trip. So we're kind of revamping things a little bit with some of the new surprises that are coming our way, but that's okay. And we have some information for you about a new live presentation that's going to happen weekly with video every Wednesday night, which is going to change really the format of the opportunity call, and it's going to be way better and super great. We have some modifications coming to our invitation system as well as three-way calls, which will empower you guys really in your businesses and allow you to leverage your time better and make good use of your time so that you're not running around chasing after people. We've really streamlined a lot of that system for you. And distance RYVPs, so those of you who are in a town or a city with no one around from your upline or no IWGs anywhere, we're going to now have some options for those people that are in that situation. And we have a new presentation specifically for use for all of you, which will be amazing. We have lots of new resources and training documents that will be coming your way, including videos and recordings that will be a great way to utilize tools that are in your business so you can kind of remove yourself as the source and really start with, purely leveraging yourself and your business that way. And we also are going to have some live virtual call-a-thons. We have some regional RYBPs planned and scheduled for the spring of 2015. So that's spring, we're going to have 3 different locations across the country for regional events, which is going to be fabulous. And then we'll share some information with you about our live Radiantly You event and annual conference for next year. So super excited, lots and lots of things that are happening, changing, revamping, all in the most amazing and positive ways. So I really couldn't be more excited. It's kind of why I personally have been on the down low a little bit lately, is just working on all of these new amazing things and tools that we are in the process of creating and establishing for everyone. So super excited. Make sure you share with all of your team 8:30 on New Year's Eve. Call in, even if they're doing something, mute, and just get in the scoop and be in the know so that they're starting off their 2015 really strong and powerful with the information that they need for their businesses. So let's have our training call. Yay. Super, super excited about this. And it's not even really a training, more as it is going to be mindset and connecting with you and kind of closing out our 2014 and setting the tone for our 2015 and all that we are trying to create. And I'm just, like I keep saying, excited, I know, over and over again, but it's truly fabulous to think about it. And I got super emotional, actually, today when I was writing some of these things down. So I'm hoping that I'll keep it together. I told Nick first sitting in the office, and I yelled over to his desk, I'm like, I really hope I don't just start bawling on this call because I'll feel like a silly person. But, reflecting back on the year was just humbling and amazing and empowering, and I'm just in awe of all that we've done, and I can't wait to share some of that with you. And I really am excited about the motto that I want us to have for the year of 2015 and that I know I'm going to adopt, and it's the year of faith. So I kind of wanted to talk to you a little bit about that and that topic. So wow, what an amazing year that 2014 has been, full of hard work, rewards, and blessings. And like I said, I was just overwhelmed with gratitude for all that 2014 has brought us. As a company, we've grown as a direct result of all of your hard work. And it's truly, just amazing to see what you all have done. So I kind of wanted to give you a picture of what the heck you guys have really created here in the last 365 days. And so I'm going to go through some statistics and share with you guys a little bit of the inside part that you don't really see or know about, so that you can really see the growth and start to visualize and materialize the things that you guys have done and contributed to, because it's amazing. It's absolutely, it's insane. So believe it or not, 2014 started out with only 85 IWGs. We will soon cross over 1,000 IWGs, and that's just absolutely amazing to me. 85 of us were on, this call this time last year. And to see where we are now, it just blows me away. As a company, we have grown 1,002% in sales in the past year. Those numbers are numbers that small businesses never see. And just to think that in 1 year we've grown over 1,000% as a company, it's truly, it shows, it's a reflection of the caliber of company that we are, the people that we all are, and the need for the products that we have. I think it's amazing. We have crossed over into over 5,000 different homes through our customers. And that doesn't even include the people who have shared our products and Radiantly You to people that they know just because they had an awesome experience with the product. So that number is totally just an estimate of the people that I actually have in the system, the customers that you guys have actually created accounts for, and not even including all of those other people in those primers, which could probably easily double for some of the efforts that I know some of you guys do from person-to-person perspective. So that's truly amazing when you think about over 5,000 different homes have, reduced the chemicals, have used our product, and have hopped onto the mission and really bought into what we're trying to do and be a part of the Radiantly You movement. And I think that's amazing. Looking back, January 6th of 2014, so a little bit less than a whole year ago, so we're almost crossing that 1 year mark, Radiantly You signed an official lease for our current facility. And that's when we began hiring employees. That's when we began production in our facility. Up until that day, though, up until January 6th of this past year, every single product was handcrafted by me still and packed by Nick in our garage in the freezing cold night. So if you just like think about that perspective, that literally this was in my home less than a year ago, it's insane. It's truly just crazy to think about. And Brantley now has over almost 200, has almost 20 amazing employees who put so much love and soul into all that they do. And our fabulous products totally reflect that. And it's amazing to think of not only the jobs that we've been able to create here in Western New York, in such a small rural town that we are too. Again, I live in Randolph, New York here. That's where the facility is, on the little Amish trail. 20 jobs is a huge, huge thing for this town. And it's amazing to see that we've already been able to do that in less than a year. And then when you think about what we've done globally, we have altogether collectively managed to somehow, in only 30 days, that month of July, when we were raising money and trying to feed the children, in only 30 days we fed an entire school. We're still feeding them, of children, over 120 kids in our village. And that's amazing to think about in 30 days what we've been able to do, because we've been feeding kids since September. And it just is so humbling to think about, when we all come together, what we have been able to create. Because look at that. Not only have we grown over 1,000% with all of our combined efforts, but we've also been able to feed an entire school of children, across the globe, and give them something that they've never been able to have, because we worked for 30 days. I mean, amazing, and I can't wait to, see what else we'll be able to do here this next year. So looking back and reflecting on your 2014, your personal 2014, I'm positive that you can find amazing blessings and growth as well in your own personal life. And I encourage you to take some time acknowledging each of those blessings and really sitting in that gratitude for all that your hard work has brought you over the last year. And it doesn't have to just be about Radiantly You. It can be the hard work that you've done, with your children, with your family, with your spouse, with, your missions and the things that you do to donate your time. I think that, it's really important to have that closure and to look back on the things that we have done and we have created. So now, while there were so many overwhelming and humbling things to cherish, I have to admit that there were also areas where goals went unhit and tasks were left unfinished and to-dos that were never crossed off this past year. And some of these, for me, are, big glaring goals that, if I allowed it, could totally bum me out and could hinder me from moving forward. Others are small goals that I probably don't even remember that I had made, but I know I didn't achieve it because it just really wasn't in my radar and wasn't, something I was focusing on. Now, I'm also sure that each and everyone on the call tonight can relate to that and has a few or more of these exact things too. The key here with these unreached goals, missed deadlines, excuse me, guys, I'm sorry. So the key here with these unreached goals, missed deadlines, or unfinished tasks is really twofold. And I wanted to talk with you a little bit about that this evening because, these two need to be recognized for what they are, which is, yes, they can be viewed as, missed opportunities or untapped potential or just things that you didn't do. So basically, you failed to reach a goal that you had set, which is true, I guess. You could look at it that way, but you could also view them as simply areas in your life in which you chose because, yes, you did choose to not focus or give that the attention that it needed in order to be hit, in order for it to be crossed off, finished, resolved. As my favorite, Mr. Anthony Robbins says, where focus goes, energy flows. And I know that, personally, unhit goals of my 2014 were places that I didn't give the laser focus needed, to give energy to it and to have it see completion. So what's the second part of that twofold process? And I think it's releasing and forgiving yourself while giving the permission to gracefully leave those unfinished tasks in 2014. Now, those unfinished goals don't need to be rewritten, highlighted, or carried over into 2014. Release them, forgive them, and get ready to move on to the creation of 2015. I think that's really important because a lot of times if there's that that one to-do list item that just keeps, dragging on from to-do list to to-do list, there's obviously something about it that isn't going to get done. It doesn't matter how many times you carry it over to the next, list. Rewrite it, make it something different. Figure out that maybe that wasn't a goal you needed to reach or a task you really needed to do. Maybe it can be changed or morphed into something else. And I think it's important to kind of leave those things behind and give ourselves permission to be okay with that and to really set our sights on the new things that we want to create. So now let's use my very favorite, I think, Nick Brown motto. If it's going to be, it's up to me, to talk about stepping into 2015 powerfully, because I think that's important too. And we have to all realize that we all have a new blank slate coming, and it's just weeks away. And it really is a really great time of renewal, a wonderful time that we can use as a visual representation for a completely clean slate. And I love that. So I don't know about you, but I've officially claimed that 2015 will be my year. So I'm making a commitment to myself, I'm making a commitment to my future, and I'm making a commitment to my family for 365 days. And out of a lifetime, so let's just say on average you hope to live to 80, you have 29,200 days in your life. Kind of a lot, right? So out of that 29,200 days, 365 really doesn't seem like that many. And I truly believe with every cell in my body that my commitment to it will be 100% worth it, because it's only 365 days. And if you break it down into looking at it like that instead of a whole daunting year or 2015 or whatever larger picture thing, and you look at it as just 365 days of 24 hours, that's all. That's so totally doable, and something that I believe you are worth is committing to those goals that you have and giving it your all for just 365 days. And I think that that's something, if we look at it that way, we can all really achieve and break down. So not only do I have personal goals for 2015, and I'll share some of them with you to kind of put myself on the hook, but I totally want to get my Radiant Red Tesla this year. So that's one of my goals. I want to pay off my student loans, and I want Radiant Leader to hit the $1 million sales mark in 2015. That's my other goal. But I also know that some of my commitments to 2015 will directly change the lives of thousands of families around the world. When you think about that, there's so much that we can do in 365 days. Look what we did in 30. We fed an entire school of 120 kids, which is reaching, over probably 100 families with siblings and all of that, right? So we've changed the lives very directly of over 100 families. I just got a Christmas card from the Farmers Group, and I'm going to share it with everyone tomorrow on Facebook and social media and write it all out so you can see what it said. But they can't even express thanks. They don't even know how to do it because of all that we've done for them. And even just by, purchasing the ingredients and giving them fair trade and boosting their economy was a huge thing. This feeding the kids was so much more. The kids are gaining weight. They're healthier. They're happy. They're learning more. Families are being affected because of children's health, and they're starting to realize how important and crucial that is. It's truly amazing. So think about all that we can do in 365 days, not just 30. We can feed children again. We can break ground on a Radiantly You compound and education center in Africa. We can work with the amazing Wine to Water organization that I'm currently working with to help bring wells into the village. And also one of my big goals and desires for 2015 is a large awareness campaign throughout Cameroon. Because while I was there, I realized how desperately the Cameroonians need help and need to be educated and empowered about GMOs and toxic chemicals. While I was there in Africa, I saw companies such as Nestle filling their minds full of misinformation, huge billboards just promoting and pushing formula and telling them, that this food supplement or this breakfast shake is going to give them all of the nutrition and nutrients that they need. I saw organizations that are trying to do good, but sharing with them GMO seeds and giving them GMO corn and other seeds that they're either given for free by companies like Monsanto or are able to purchase cheaply, here over in the U.S., the UK, Europe, things like that. But they're pushing all of these GMO crops now on people in our country and in the villages that we work and live in. So I think that that's really important that we start educating them, as well as there's a huge presence of China actually in Cameroon. and they're working really hard at trying to force these toxic-filled products into homes. While I was there, I was super surprised because most of the products, I didn't recognize the brand or the name of them in the country. But the one product, I have to say, that totally caught my eye, sitting on a little stand in Bamenda, which is like a city, basically, in Cameroon, was Roundup spray. They had Roundup Ready stuff all over, right? So it's just education. They just don't know any better. So that's something that I would like to work on getting some sort of campaign too, because I think that obviously we believe education and empowering people is really important, and that's another way that we can start to make a change. So much can happen in just 365 days. And knowing that the last 365, while, magnificent, didn't come close to peaking our potential, gives us so much more hope for all that we can accomplish. But as we know, like Nick says, if it's going to be, it's up to me, no one else will do it for you. And I wanted to share one of my favorite Rumi quotes, which is, "It's your road and yours alone. Other may walk it with you, but no one can walk it for you." And it's so true. No one will be able to accomplish the things, the goals, and the dreams in our heart for 2015. We have to be the ones to do it. So I really want to encourage you to claim 2015 as your year. Set big goals, set scary goals, set goals that keep you up at night, goals that really ignite the real you, because I believe you and your future deserve it. And I think it's something that as we close 2014, you should really concentrate on giving yourself the opportunity to do. So let's talk about how this will apply to your business. I want to share with you some amazing statistics, just direct sales statistics that will give you some information about the growth of our industry and all that we're doing and providing, and give you some legitimacy to stand behind when you think about how you are, operating as an entrepreneur, as a business, and as a person in direct selling. So during the last year, global direct sales generated $180 billion in sales and grew 7.2%. This really shows us a ton about how the world is changing. While malls are shutting down, brick and mortar stores are slowing down, direct sales is growing rapidly. And there's a reason for that. There really truly is. Social selling, which is AKA network marketing, is really on the rise. People want to get back to that person-to-person feeling, and we want to trust, and we are starting to lend way more trust to our friends, to our family, to people that, take the time to sit down with us, look us in the eye, and talk to us about a product or about an opportunity or about a service that we can provide to people. And even better, when you think about that, 70% of those sales are done through face-to-face sales or network marketing, our approach. 70% of that $180 billion were done exactly through our system and the ways that we're doing it. And just to give you some reference for that, Party Plan is only 23%. That's how much Party Plan companies contributed to that $180 billion, whereas companies like ours, network marketing, direct sales, MLM, whatever you want to call it, 70% of those sales are done through face-to-face sales, which also I want to just point out reinforces the true need to connect to the people that you're talking to. And I'm not connecting to them through Facebook Messenger. I'm not talking about connecting them through a generic email that you send out to everyone on your list. I'm talking about picking up the phone, meeting them at a coffee shop, meeting them in a mom's group, talking to them, looking at them face-to-face, and sharing your experiences and educating and empowering them through that mode so that they can really get the information that you're trying to give and feel that connection. Because what we do is not about sales. What we do is not about, it's just not. It's about relationships. And face-to-face, and that time is when relationships really, truly occur. So health and wellness products, I want to talk about those a little bit. Those continue to drive that growth and that those sales numbers that I shared with you, as reported in the last Euromonitor International study, and they show no signs of stopping. So really, health and wellness products are the ones that are leading the way, and that's exactly where we're at. I mean, you couldn't be in a better niche. You couldn't have a better product. You couldn't be in a better price point. There's just nothing better about really where Radiantly You is situated inside of our industry. And while our economy seems to kind of be back on the track of eventual rise, we've still lost over 12 million jobs in the U.S. since December 2007. 12 million jobs have gone, just deleted, erased, no longer available. And when you think about that, what does that, mean for us in our industry? Well, I think it means that lots of people, job or not, are looking to create more income in their life. And I also think there should be no prejudging either about who you offer an opportunity to and who you share this information with and who you don't, because you never know who is looking for something. And something I just wanted to point out that I thought was super interesting about the statistics were that of direct sellers, 22% or more are 55 and older. And I know people sometimes in our age groups, I know many of us on the call are moms, dads of younger families. So we're in our, 30s, 40s. And we don't necessarily really think about people that are our parents' age or a little bit older wanting to do this, because we just think of our peer group. But you have to realize it's those people who are hurting the most, because they're not getting their retirement. They're not on the pensions that they thought they were going to have. And they're still out of jobs or getting laid off too, because it's more likely to happen to someone older that's making more money in a company to get laid off than it is the brand new person who just started at a lower wage. So really don't discriminate who you share this with. 22% or more of direct sellers, which is almost a quarter of us, are 55 and older. That's pretty awesome. Industry-wide, also, like I've said before, and I've said last year, and I'm saying again, January to May is the best time to build your business. People have set New Year's resolutions, which most often include getting healthier and making more money. Some other resolutions of the top 10 resolutions that people set, we fall into 3 of those other categories. So on top of the main 2, which is getting healthier and making more money, we also fall into 3 more categories in the top 10. And those are learning something exciting, which is true. Being in Radiantly You is always about learning, educating, empowering ourselves. Helping others is something that is a resolution for people. They want to be more connected. They want to help other people. They want to feel like they can contribute. And spending more time with family. How many people, do you know that want to have more time in their life? Because time is something that no amount of money can buy. But this opportunity is able to provide that. So I think it's really important to realize there's so many people out there that can be touched by what you have to offer. And in my opinion, people out there are searching for Radiantly You. They are. They're begging for hope. Hope of health, hope of connection, hope of financial security, hope that there's more to life than the daily grind. And by being here on this call tonight as an independent wellness guide, you've made the choice to be a voice for that health, to be a voice for sustainability, to be a voice for integrity, and of all, a voice for this opportunity and that it can change lives. You are the one that brings that faith, that this opportunity can do that, either because you're the one currently living it and busting your butt, like some of you on this call, and you know who you are, that have had an amazing year, probably better than you even imagined, and your business is like at places you didn't even think that it would be. And I know that next year, some of you are like my personal goals and on my manifest list to make you like the next person. I honestly, on my manifest list, have written down some of your names that I want to make you our first $1 million earner. And that's amazing when you think about that, because we will have that. Companies have that, right? They promote that. That's the whole point. For me, it's not making me $1 million earner. I want to make you $1 million earner. I want to make you have the lifestyle and the business that you can not even wrap your mind around right now, and that's okay. You don't have to know how it's going to happen. You just have to have the faith. So that's why I want to make 2015 the year of faith, because with faith, you can achieve anything, and have that faith that you can achieve anything in the next 365 days. Faith that you can change lives. Faith that you can change yours, and that yours in turn will be changed forever if you help enough people change theirs. And that's so true, because all of that is available to us for 365 short days if we just focus and commit and really laser focus on what those goals that we have are. So I just kind of want to leave you with an awesome quote that I found today and absolutely love, and it's Jim Carrey. And even though he's known as being like that hilarious, funny guy, he's actually an amazing, amazing person. And I love, reading some of the things that he's said in some of his speeches. And this quote comes from a speech that he gave, a graduation speech that I think is so empowering and powerful, and it's about faith. And so I wanted to close tonight and share that with you. But again, please make sure that you share with your team about the call on New Year's Eve, because I do think it's going to be so fabulous and so amazing, and I'm so excited about it. And I hope that you all have an amazing holiday, and I'd love to leave you with this quote about faith. So, why not take a chance on faith? Not religion, but faith. Not hope, but faith. I don't believe in hope. Hope is a beggar. Hope walks through the fire, and faith leaps over it. You are ready and able to do beautiful things in this world. You will only ever have two choices, love or fear. Choose love, and don't ever let fear turn you away from your playful heart. And I think that's so awesome and so fitting, and I think that stepping out into faith truly allows us to just have the things that we believe in and the goals that we want to set for ourselves, and the faith that we can do it. In these next 365 days, it really is just, it's the platform. It really is that first brick in the step of building the life that you want to build. So I hope you all have a fabulous holiday. I hope you all have an even better week, night, whatever, end of 2014. I hope that you also take some time to reflect on your 2014 and to work on building your 2015. Again, we are always here for you. If you need anything, reach out, reach up. We're here, and I'm really excited to get back with all of you on New Year's Eve. So have a fabulous evening. Can't wait to talk to you to start off and kick off one of the most amazing years of all of our lives. So love you all. Have a great night. Bye-bye.